leader of the 3rd Squad of the Shinsengumi.
Shizo Hijikata, assistant leader of the Shinsengumi. Okita, I recommend that you stand down. That man over there, the infamous Batosai, the master. People's wolves are here. It's the Shinsengumi.
What is up, guys? DT Ninja here for you guys my RuroKen JUMP Festa 26 review. Alright guys, last weekend we had JUMP Festa 26 and Rurouni Kenshin Hokkaido arc had its own stage for the manga. So we got a chance to have the voice actors from the anime actually discuss the manga, the current manga. So that was really cool. I wanted to share my thoughts. I watched it live and took some notes, so I wanted to share what went down at JUMP Festa. Now, before we get to that, I want to share some new items that I got this year. Now, one of them is one of my Christmas items. This is Kenshin and Kaoru from Meiji Mura Museum. This is an exclusive illustration from that exhibition. So yeah, I got it as a canvas board illustration. Very cool. So yeah, that's a really neat one. Another one I got was this. It's a 3D logo of Rurouni Kenshin. Obviously, pretty cool. Yeah, as a manga translator myself, I see the logo all the time. But anyway, it goes well with my collection. It goes well with pretty much anything. So yeah, anyway, I got that. Earlier this year, I did get this. This is my Hokkaido arc kind of pouch. It's kind of almost like a pencil case. So yeah, it's got all of the gang here from chapter 16, I believe, of Hokkaido. So anyway, those are some items that I got. We'll be taking a look at some other items towards the end when we're looking at the merch for this year. So let's get to it. All right, so this year's JUMP Festa, we got the voice actors from obviously the current anime. We got guests Soma Saito, who is Kenshin, Taku Yashiro, who is Sano, and Makoto Furukawa, who is Shishio. And they came out. There was an overview of characters as well. So they mentioned Kenshin, Sano, Ashitaro, Jupongatana, and Kenkaku Heki. Now they did also focus on Sano as well, Saito, the Jupongatana, as I mentioned. So Sojiro was mentioned as well, but they didn't go in depth. They didn't go asking questions on specific scenes, like some scenes, but not too many, not like a specific chapter. But they did talk, each voice actor talked about a certain character and what they felt about it. So that was pretty cool. Let's go over each one. So the first one was Yashiro-san. Yashiro-san is shown an image of Sanosuke with his bushy beard and his introduction in Hokkaido. So he was asked about his first appearance and what he thinks of the character. So basically, it talks about how there's something about Sanosuke that just makes people truly admire him. And it has to do with the bond he shares with Kenshin, but also his will to never give up. Also, the way that he treats his opponents as well. Like, for example, Anji, caring about him. And even in Hokkaido, Ono, the Kenkaku Heki that kind of like went down the wrong path. And obviously, they kind of have their kind of moment where he's trying to shake his hand. So it was interesting to see kind of his insights to the character. He said it makes him truly admire Sanosuke, and he wants to portray that in the anime. Okay, the next one, Soma Saito. Soma Saito was asked about Kenshin and his family photo. So obviously Kenji and Kaoru in the family photo. And he responds by saying he sees how the future is shaped, and he feels very grateful to, you know, the Kenshin manga, as well as he feels entrusted with this character, and he truly respects and admires Kenshin. So it sounds like he really wants to give the best, his best, to be Kenshin. Obviously, he's the voice actor of Kenshin, so seeing the future just gives him more motivation, and like he says, he feels entrusted to this character that he's become. So that was kind of neat. Makoto Furukawa was asked about Ashtaro. Ashtaro obviously is, you know, the one with the Mugenjin. He has the Mugenjin in Hokkaido, and he uses Homuradama. So this is within chapter 1, where Ashtaro, this is Ashtaro right here. This is one of my canvas board illustrations of Hokkaido. I own 3 of them. But yeah, anyway, Ashtaro has the Mugenjin. He's, you know, holding it up with the Homuradama, and you see Shishio kind of in the flames, kind of in spirit. And he asks him about how he feels. Well, he says it's very interesting. He likes the character, and he wonders how he's going to deal with using Mugenjin in the future, because this is an evil sword. This is not a sword that is just for any swordsman. This is a sword that literally takes and eats, you know, like souls, basically. I mean, it collects souls by, you know, like the way it burns the fat, you know, of the corpses that it cuts. So anyway, it's interesting. He says that there was going to be a great change that will come. There's going to be a great change. Okay, guys, the next thing, we have a Hokkaido Art quiz with the voice actors. This was pretty cool. We got to see some interesting questions being asked, and the voice actors give their comments. So the first question is, in the Hokkaido Art, how many times did Kenshin say Oro? So this was an interesting one, because obviously the iconic catchphrase Oro is used in Hokkaido, but how many times? What do you guys think? Let's see if you guys can figure it out. Well, I'm going to give you some of the responses. So Yashiro-san is Sano's voice actor. He said that he thinks it's a lot, but he doesn't know the exact number. And then Soma Saito, he says, I say 27, because when Kenshin uses Kuzu-ryosen, it has 27 hits, like the Kuzu-ryosen times 3, that one where he uses against Itakura, and it's just absolutely crazy, right? So it has to do with the 27. It was really cool. I can't remember exactly the reasoning behind it, but he did say it was cool, so he uses that. And then Furukawa, the Shishio actor, he kind of made a joke that when Kenshin uses Kuzu-ryosen 27 times, that Kenshin would be like, ororo, 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 like he was using the sword and he would use the oro at that time. So he kind of makes a joke. But anyway, so what did you guys think? What is the answer? So now it's time for the answer. The answer is 26. 26 times Kenshin says Oro. Okay. Number 2. So Soma Saito gets the points. Question number 2. What happened to Makoto Shishio? What happened to Makoto Shishio in the story? Okay. So this is an interesting one. Makoto Furukawa jokes and tries to leave the stage because obviously he plays Makoto Shishio and he's standing right there, so he leaves. But it's a joke. And then Soma Saito's like, come back. I'm just kidding. And then Saito writes, they write their answers, by the way. He writes another world, a parallel world. So he thinks he's living in another world. We do see him, in hell, but we don't know exactly what happens to him. like there. We don't really get any indication of him. But I think they're asking because we see Shishio with Ashitaro in spirit. We see that he can hear his voice. So, and there is that story behind that. So that's an interesting thing. Then Yashiro-san writes, we still have no clear plan in sight. So we don't know. We don't know exactly. And Furukawa, he writes, reincarnated as Valkyrie Skirt, which is a reference to Tokiko's weapon in RuroKen. So he makes a reference to RuroKen. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. I didn't think about that, but he did create RuroKen after that, so that is very interesting. But yeah, the real answer is we don't know. So Yashiro-san gets the point. We still have no clear plan in sight. So that was the correct answer. So each of them have 1 point. Furukawa has no points. Okay. And then after that, they show a special trailer for Hokkaido. This was awesome. It was animated and everything. It had voice actors in it. It had a lot of action. It had Nagakura splitting Hyobei in half. It had Sojiro and Kenshin fighting Itakura. It had Sano and Anji fighting Doi. So it had a lot of things. It showed the Kinkaku Heki. Yeah, it was really cool. But anyway, I'm going to share some images from it here. I do have a small video, but it's just at the very top window so you guys can see. But here are the images first, so take a look. As you guys can see, wow, that looked really nice. The images are nice, but you can see right now the video on replay right now above my head right here. But yeah, it's really cool. I'm going to translate the whole video and put it on my Facebook, so look forward to that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And at the very end, we got the Volume 10 reveal. So Volume 10 is now going to be coming out January 5th. Yes, guys, Volume 10 has Aoshi Shinomori on the cover. So take a look at that. That is pretty awesome. On to the next part. This one is VA asks questions to the author. So each VA will ask questions to the author, specific questions, and he'll respond to them. This was very unique. I like this. The first question was Soma Saito. So Kenshin's voice actor asked this question. Who is Watsuki Sensei's favorite character in the Hokkaido arc? So I'm going to give you guys several characters on the screen right now, and who do you think is his favorite character? Alright, so the answer is... Watsuki says, Judo Abe is my favorite character. Judo Abe is his favorite character, and that is awesome because I absolutely loved Sapporo Shinsengumi Elegy. That special story in Sapporo with the backstory and the Goryo Eiji, that was just awesome. I loved it, and Abe was the MVP of that arc. I really liked it. Yeah, so that's his favorite character. I didn't expect that, but it makes sense in how he wrote him. So yeah, that's very cool. Okay, the next one. Yashiro-san asked this question. What is your favorite Hokkaido rice? And he responds, La Vista Hakodate rice for breakfast. So just a simple question about food, and then he mentions a bunch of other food. So yeah, pretty cool though. Okay, the next question. Furukawa Makoto asked this question to the author. Is Shishio still active? Is he going to play a role in the future? So this is an interesting one. So we don't get an answer. We don't get an answer from the author right away. Instead, they go back to the quiz. And this time, the question is, what was the sensei's answer to Furukawa's question? So, Yashiro writes, let's ask the other way around. Am I active? So, I think he's trying to say, is Sano gonna have a future role? Yeah. Anyway, Soma writes, check out the comics or manga, and you can figure it out yourself, right? And then Furukawa writes, a sly grin in silence. So, Watsuki's answer is yes. I'm saving it for an important scene, so please look forward to it. This is a very interesting answer because we all know Ashtaro is a very important character in the future for this manga. So, obviously, what he means is Shishio's going to probably be in some sort of vision to Ashtaro, or maybe a backstory, flashback, something in that as a spirit. In some form, we're gonna get Shishio playing a pivotal role in Ashtaro's development. So that's a very interesting kind of tidbit. Pretty cool. So after that, we have each of the voice actors had 1 point. So obviously each of them were right one time. So they decided on rock, paper, scissors. Soma Saito wins, and the author gifts him a stay at his favorite hotel where he likes to stay, where he writes the interviews, when he does interviews and stuff like that. So yeah, that was neat. The author kind of did that for him. Like I said, the quiz was pretty neat. The next part, there is a Hokkaido campaign. So if you want to read the Hokkaido arc, 5 volumes you can read right now in Japanese. You can read them from December 20th to January 12th, I believe. And alongside that, you can also stream the old anime. All of the old anime, the Heisei era anime, is now streaming. Now, I don't know if it's worldwide. I think it's only in Japan. But anyway, that's a pretty cool thing as well. Then we have Soma Saito receiving a message directly from the author, and he reads it out. So the author has a message for the fans, and he comments. So I have it right here. He says, "Thank you for your continued support of Rurouni Kenshin. Thanks to you, I've somehow managed to continue writing and production this year as well." So that means he's been, doing the manga as well as the anime. The manga is finally entering its second half. This is key. Second half. It's only halfway done. With Kenshin in an increasingly difficult state, the individual character arcs and storylines will intensify. Along with the theme that inspired the Hokkaido arc, what lies at the end of atonement, which will begin to unfold in earnest. So that's very interesting. Talking about the manga, obviously we're halfway through. We're going to get more intensity and character arcs moving forward, so that's really nice. I mentioned before, Ashtaro is probably going to be one of them. So yeah, I can't wait. All right, the next part of his comment, his next part. The anime adaptation is currently in full swing, focusing on the latter half of the Kyoto arc. We're working diligently to bring the most thrilling battles and iconic scenes from the shonen manga to life on screen. We appreciate your patience as we take a little more time, and we hope you'll look forward to it. In the meantime, please enjoy the Heisei era anime adaptation of Rurouni Kenshin, which has now been officially confirmed for streaming. Next year, we ask for your continued support for another year. So yeah, that is the author's special message to the fans. Not only does he talk about the manga, he talks about the anime, and yeah, that was a nice way to kind of end there. Now, there are a couple more things I wanted to talk about. Jump merch. So we've reached the part where we're going to talk about the merch. So, Jump merch. Last year we had some cool merch. Like we had this, this was a clear file of Kenshin and Sojiro. I got this one. There is a sticker, an exclusive sticker, but this year they had another exclusive sticker. So I think that's the only thing that was there. But take a look at some of these photos from JUMP FESTA this year. My friend went, so he allowed me to use these photos. So take a look. So yeah, those are kind of what is happening. These are the things that went down at JUMP FESTA. The last thing I wanted to talk about is kind of the pros and cons. Obviously the pros, we got a lot of things from Hokkaido. We got, some more things about the plot moving forward, some of the character arcs that are coming. So that was kind of neat. We got some insights from the voice actors. Some cons, I have to say, I wish they would have talked more about Sapporo Shinsengumi Elegy, like Nagakura's arc, as well as Judo Abe, especially since the author's favorite character is Judo Abe. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. I did like it. I just wish they would have had a little bit more with, Itakura, Nagakura, and that story arc in Sapporo. But overall, I enjoyed it. So that's pretty much it, guys. The last thing, the manga will return. Obviously, the latest chapter I have finished officially. So I'm going to post that very soon. So take a look on my Facebook page for that. But yeah, my next review for Hokkaido will be next week. And yeah, take a look at that. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll see you guys in the next one.